All right, you guys, welcome back to the Drama Drop. Today's episode is a good one because we are diving into reality TV, internet culture, and the mental side of living your life in front of an audience. And honestly, I could not think of a better guest for this conversation. I'm so excited to say that I am joined by Elena Davies, who you may know from Big Brother season 19. If you watched that season, you already know she brought personality, opinions. She was very much not afraid to say what everyone else was thinking. And since then, Elena has built a whole brand beyond reality TV. She's a content creator and someone who has been very open about her life, relationships, and experiences, basically navigating what it means to go from being watched on TV to continuing to live publicly online. And that's exactly why I wanted her on today, because we're seeing this huge overlap right now between reality TV and influencer culture, especially with all the drama surrounding people like Taylor Frankie Paul. The lines between what's real life and what's content are getting blurrier by the day. So today we're getting into all of it. What it actually feels like to be on reality TV, how it impacts your mental health, what happens when the internet forms an opinion about you, and how that compares to the kind of public scrutiny influencers are dealing with now. It's honest, it's a little chaotic, and there are definitely some hot takes in there. So be sure to follow her on Instagram if you aren't. It's at Elena Davies. And then check out her podcast where you can binge all her past episodes that are iconic at the MiscELENAeous Podcast. So enough rambling from me. Let's get into it. And here's my conversation with Elena Davies. Enjoy. Hey friends, this is a Drama Drop because somebody has to talk about it. Oh my gosh, Elena Davies. I cannot believe we are chatting here today. I'm so excited. I don't think you have any idea. I am such a huge fan of yours. I have been following you and been obsessed with you from the moment that you showed up on my TV screen for Big Brother season 19. Seriously, I was like, this chick is hilarious. She's gorgeous, stunning, sassy, all of the things. Like, I'm truly so obsessed with you. So thank you so much. Yeah,
and
no,
you're
absolutely.
a Texas girl, so you had to root for the fellow Texas girl. I know that's built in. I feel like
100%. I was like, Texas done. Like, that's my pick. That's my winner. That's my girl. Yeah.
I hate to say it as someone who's like watched reality TV, like every season of Big Brother in the past. I'm like, Texas. I'm rooting for Texas. Like, why do other states do that? Do other, like, is like the state of Montana just every year waiting for their like one Montana person to like pop up on TV for them to just go hard for it? Doesn't matter who they are, because we do that.
Absolutely not. No, I think Texas, it's just a different breed because too, why do they keep putting Texas people on? You know what I mean? Every year it doesn't fail. Like, there is a Texas person. It's like, that is tried and true, pride, all of that. And yeah, whoever it is.
We technically had two my season because Cody claims Texas, and he was living in Texas prior to going on the show. So we had same Metroplex. Like, him and I lived before starting the season. We probably lived like 20 minutes away from each other, which in the DFW Metroplex, that's pretty substantially close.
Yeah, there's like 40 cities that are all 20 minutes, like, just no matter where you're going. Yeah, that actually is kind of crazy now that I think about it, that they would put two people on the same season, such close proximity. But I mean, amazing. Like, I'm so happy you were on there. Yeah,
or it didn't. I don't know. We're a very polarizing season. You either really love us or you really hate us. So it either worked or it didn't, and you either really liked me and Cody or you really didn't. So
no, 100%, which I will get more into that. But so speaking of, just before we get into that, the DFW area. Okay, so I know you are a huge Fort Worth girly. Like, I consider you to be the mayor of Fort Worth, honestly. Like, you constantly are just, you are. Okay, so, okay, cool. I didn't know if that was something I just
Not
made
a lot of people know.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I'm actually the mayor.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad we cleared that up because there was a reason I was thinking that. So it's true. That makes sense.
It's the truth.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah, you're always gallivanting in Fort Worth and I'm obsessed with it. I seriously, you're just so cute. I love all your little get-ups and your outfits and just seeing your stories that you post. So I know we're in like the same area, but I mean, I don't really go out that much, but if I do, I don't go to Fort Worth, and that's not anything against Fort Worth. It's just because of the proximity of where, like, it's just not that easy. So going out in Fort Worth, what's your go-to night? Like paint the picture for us as to what a perfect night in Fort Worth
I
looks
mean,
like.
I love Joe T. Garcia's. It's legendary in Fort Worth. I think it's legendary in Texas. If there are any listeners who are unfamiliar, it's a restaurant, but it's not just a restaurant. It's like this beautiful garden, like escape. You're somehow in the middle of the stockyards, but like in the middle of Costa Rica, and there are fountains and birds, and it's huge. It takes up a whole block. And a lot of people will shit on the food, and they're like, the food is average. It's really about the ambiance and the experience. No, the food slaps. I love the food.
Agreed.
Order a la carte, get yourself a little nacho, a little cheese enchilada, and margaritas. And that is the setup to a perfect Fort Worth, especially if the weather is nice and you get to enjoy outside. I mean, it's perfect. But I love the stockyards. I will say I have a little bit of a love-hate just because it's gotten so popular. Like, did you know that more people visit the stockyards than like Paris, France?
I actually didn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a real fact. I've seen it like 10 times in the last 2 years on the internet. So that's all I need as far as like fact confirmation. But it's very like Western culture is so popular now, especially with all of like the Yellowstone and Landman and they film a lot out here. So I feel like it's popular to come do Western stuff, which I love because we like give attention to the industry and that world and like appreciate what all it takes. But at the same time, it's almost hard to go out in the stockyards now and enjoy it like we used to because there are so many people and so many tourists. But again, like I said, it's like a love-hate because one of my favorite things in the world is to like show someone Fort Worth, to like get to take someone around Fort Worth and like we have the world's largest honky tonk, the world's oldest honky tonk, and the world's oldest saloon or smallest saloon all in the same block. Right. And we still shut down the street for the cattle drive twice a day. Like there's iconic things that happen in my little town. So I'm like so proud of it and I love to like show it off and share it with people. But at the same time, I'm like, but no, it's mine. Like, exactly. Don't ruin it for the people who actually live here.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, the stockyards is so fun. Even the areas that are like touristy and kind of like new and modernized, like Mule Alley, there's like Hotel Drover is beautiful and amazing. And there's so many cute things. But I love like walking like the old red brick and like going into the legit like cowboy bars. And it's fun. It's a fun little city to be from. And it's not all cowboy stuff. Like we have other areas that like our downtown is amazing. And we have the West 7th area, which is kind of like our little college bar area. But the stockyards is probably my perfect day. And then also if someone would just like follow me around and buy me hats and boots, if I can include that in my perfect Fort Worth day, somehow a sugar daddy got involved. I don't know how, but just
to amp up the Western wardrobe. Yeah, really do it. Wait.
Because I don't have enough hats.
Well, I mean,
if y'all aren't watching, I just moved my head a little bit and there were 5 hats on the wall.
Which honestly, that is amazing. And I'm really jealous because I think the only cowboy, if you can even call it that, hat I have is off Amazon for maybe like $25. I'm just like cosplaying for like a second.
You can't call it that.
No, it's not. It's not. But no, I love that. Okay, wait. So there's so many things I want to like touch on just with your perfect day because okay, so it's funny. So I know I said like I don't really go out in Fort Worth that often. Like as an adult with control over my own time, I don't really go that often. But what's funny is I mean I still go to Joe T's, but growing up I used to go to Joe T's a lot. I actually used to work at the stockyards for like a small second.
Where?
Okay, so the souvenir shops. Okay, so there's like 3 shops that are sister stores. One of them probably what you would recognize the most, the Candy Barrel. And it's like in that old like shopping alleyway.
On the other side of,
Yes. Like where, and so like my grandpa, he was the project manager out there for so long. But what's funny about you saying that it being more like commercialized and touristy, I hope he doesn't have like anything where this can't be like addressed, but it's been so long. A company, pretty much took over, like I think from California to make it more touristy. And so all those people that worked there out. But I mean,
That's so
it
sad.
was
And
time
like
for
some of them were like mom and pop shop.
no,
type.
yes,
Oh.
actually. Yes, it was so sad. And he had worked there ever since, I mean, I have recollection of life. So, you know,
Did you grow up going to the spaghetti warehouse?
okay, the only one that I can remember is no longer. Is that true? Is that the one you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
in the stockyards, like up at the top of the hill. That's like
It's
one of
kind of
my most
fuzzy.
core memories as a little girl. It's like
But it's not a thing anymore, right?
it's not a thing anymore. You
Okay,
can't
then
go to Spaghetti
maybe.
Warehouse, but like that, I remember Spaghetti Warehouse more than I remember Joe Tees as a
Oh
girl,
my gosh.
and going to Riskies
Oh,
on
oh yeah, for sure.
Marin.
Yeah. No, I remember Joe Tees a lot just because we used to go there every Sunday, like after church or whatever, just for like anything. And we try to go, me and my husband, as frequently as we can, just because it is kind of a stretch. But it's just funny because I was like, I really don't do, so like stockyards, like really truly all I know of it is just working at those shops. And I do know of the cattle drive just because been just from working there, but all like the fun, and I've never really taken the opportunity to truly deep dive
Well,
into it.
that's where you'll go get your hat, is somewhere over there
Yeah.
when you get a hat. And then you gotta break the hat in. So you
Right.
just wear
Okay.
it out. So you can do like a 2-for-1 little situation.
Oh, no,
And
perfect.
I can tag along. I'll show you
Oh,
Fort Worth. Even though
no.
you're from here, I'll show you Fort
No,
Worth.
100%. Like, Kinnison is a separate town. Like, I need you to show me because, like, it's my husband. He's like, all right, like, what do we go do? And I'm like, I honestly don't know. Like, the last time, like, I was really like 17, just like working in some shops and like trying to get out so I could go have fun with my friends.
You weren't trying to spend your time,
exactly.
extra time there. You were trying to get out of there.
I was like trying to leave. And then also trying to like deep dive more into it. We went to the rodeo for the first time last year. And I know you love the rodeo.
I do.
So,
I love the rodeo.
Okay, so I have to ask, like, are you there? Like, I don't know. Is it like an arena? Is that what you call the rodeo? Like, where they do all the rodeo
the
things?
arena.
Okay. Are you going there with like, oh, I really want this horse, or no, it's not a horse. What is it? A bull?
Yeah,
a person, bull
horses.
rider. Okay. Are you there? Like, are there specific people that you're seeing, or is it just like you just like the event itself? Because I know I went in there so just like, what is happening?
Okay, so I have questions then for you. Did you go to the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo at Dickey's Arena, or did you go to a Stockyards Cowtown Coliseum Rodeo?
I think it was the Cowtown Coliseum.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, at Dickey's for like the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, it's more like tournament based. So it's 23 days long, and you'd be like watching it kind of go down in like brackets sort of. So like these people are going to compete if they make it to the next round, and then there'll be like the semifinals and the finals. So like some people are going because they're like rooting for a specific like cowgirl or cowboy or animal. Some people root for the animals.
Oh, okay.
Especially the people that got the money in the game. But then some like also just the events. Like I can have a good time at the rodeo. Like if I don't know anything, if I'm not like, oh, this is a really specific thing, like I could just show up at the Cowtown Coliseum and go to the rodeo and not even, it could be a PBR, like all bulls night. It could be like some sort of themed something, or just, whatever's going on. And I'd have a pretty good time. I just think it's like, it's nostalgic for me. My dad was a cowboy. And so I kind of grew up around it, and it's just, I mean, like, I just think cowboys are cool. I think cowboys are the coolest thing in the world. Like, cowboys are just cool. I would watch a cowboy do almost anything. Like, even just working, I would watch a cowboy work. Yeah. I mean, sometimes rodeos are essentially like just watching cowboys work. It's like taking what they do on like the beginning of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo is like a rancher's rodeo, and it would be like different ranches and farms that compete against each other doing like jobs that you would do, like cutting horses or like wrangling or like doing different things. So, and I'm not even like, and I don't know everything about everything. Like I don't know a ton about performance horse stuff and like cutting and stuff like that, but it's just fun to watch. Right. And a little scary. And it's a little scary.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're probably like, oh, guys, like this is my thing. Cause I really do feel like Western vibes and cowboy is very trendy right now. And I
Yeah.
feel like that has just been a new development. Like, I don't know, like when I get my emails from like, oh, 25% off, shop here, shop here. It's like, look at our graphic tees. It's like everything that's like Western and cowboy. And I don't know. I just think that's so funny. So you're probably like, dude, I have been doing this. Like, this isn't
There were
new for
even
me.
stages of my life where I tried to avoid it because I grew up. It's like I remember being in college and I even went to such a cowboy school. Like I went to the college that my dad rodeoed at and was
Oh
like
my
the
gosh.
president of his rodeo association. Like this is his belt buckle for being like the president of the San Angelo Rodeo Association in 1972. And I like tried to like abandon. I was like, I don't like country music and
oh my gosh, yeah.
cowboy stuff is so lame. But like low key, I think it was just like a weird projection. Like I was trying to heal from some childhood stuff. I don't know. I still am, but at least I can like acknowledge that I like rodeos and I like country music and I've been able to do that for about 15 years now.
I love it.
I don't know, some weird growth for me.
So one thing that was so interesting to me is whenever we went to the rodeo, I was like, oh, because again, I went into it really blind. I mean, I knew just kind of like what was going to happen, but I was so shocked, and I don't know why, because this literally just dawned on me that you had one on your Big Brother season. I didn't realize that rodeo clowns were legit. Like, I had no idea. So I was like, I mean, I've heard the term, you know, like, oh, rodeo clown, or, you know, like that Rascal Flatts song, like they mention it. And I never, I don't know. I was so stunned. I was like, who is this dude bouncing around with paint on his face and whatever? And I don't know. Like, that was just really funny to me. But I was like,
people can like easily make fun of a rodeo clown and be like, oh, that's so goofy. But like, no, those are like tough sons of bitches. And that's even a whole event elsewhere is like bullfighting. And it's essentially like a bullfighter and like a rodeo clown are like essentially the same thing. Like their job is to like protect the cowboy.
Wow.
So like there are some like it's so interesting. Like there would be like a rodeo clown like at the Dickies Arena, like or any big rodeo. Like there's a host that kind of puts on the show and they kind of entertain. But then there's gonna be like 4 to 5 like supplemental like bullfighters or clowns or whatever you want to call them that are there to like protect the human athlete from when they get bucked off or any of that. And then they have their own thing, like own events where they'll just like play with bulls and like run at them and jump over them and try to like get them to do stuff. Like rodeo clowns are like badass motherfuckers.
That's so cool.
And the thing about what's so crazy about Jason being on my season is one, he's like a rodeo clown, which is very cool.
Right. Yeah.
But additionally, he has his bull, like his steer as part of his act. So like he's Whistlenut and Oli is like a trained pet bull, which is like mostly what my dad did. And that's a very low percentage of like what cowboys do and what cowboys are able to do successfully, especially more than once. So I remember telling Jason in the house, like, oh yeah, my dad's a cowboy. He trains longhorn steers primarily. Like that's his like full gig and like, you know, trains them for other people and then has them and takes them around for all kinds of things. And he like didn't believe me because he's like, there's just
like there's
no way.
Yeah.
That
it's like, what are the odds? Yeah. That he does that. And then of course, you have that.
And I'm like, and my dad's done it 4 times successfully. Like his steers have been in movies. Like he's done this, he's done that, he's done this. And he's like, dude, there's like no way. Like this girl's just straight up lying to me in the house. And so he literally didn't believe it until like while after the house, because he finally was in Fort Worth for a rodeo and my dad came down and I was like, bring your dead steer. And so my dad loaded it up in the back of a tiny little yellow Chevy truck. The horn stuck out past outside of the truck bed. And my dad drove it like 5-6 hours from the hill country to Fort Worth so that he could meet Jason, hang out with me for a minute, and show him his steer, that his last steer that had been with us. And then, of course, once they met and got to talking about all their cowboy stuff and really getting into the nitty gritty stuff that I don't know about, he was like, you weren't lying. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I was not lying. Not
Well,
about
and
that.
I mean, yeah, and yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, you guys did have Raven on your season, and she had a lot of wild stories. So he was probably like, did they
Yeah, in
just cast
comparison to like
everybody?
inverted spine and Mensa girl
Exactly.
whose like stomach is paralyzed but
Yeah.
is chewing up red meat, and like that whole
Exactly.
thing that we went through, I was also suspicious of people.
Right,
Extra.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, I already
So,
was going to be suspicious of people, but then you get that version of a
right.
human in
Mm-hmm.
this version of reality, and
Yeah.
you start questioning everything. Really,
Oh, for
truly.
sure. Oh, I
So-
believe it. Okay, so let's just go back just a little bit. So for the viewers or the listeners who don't know anything about Big Brother, can you just like give a really quickly like scale of scope of what Big Brother is? They should by now. They shouldn't be living under a rock. They should know you
Yeah,
and
come
follow
on,
you.
guys.
But
y'all are all my biggest fans, right? I thought.
exactly. But like for those
yeah,
who maybe
so
don't.
Big Brother is like kind of like Survivor meets The Real World. If you're familiar with those shows, it's like a big social experiment that throws 16 people from all across the US from all different walks of life into a house, pretty much cast to hate each other.
Yeah.
And we evict each other one by one. For my time, it was $500,000. These days, people are playing for $750,000. But there's a different types of competitions, whether it be like a physical competition, a memory comp, something that's all luck, some kind of combo platter, and whoever wins is the head of household. They'll nominate 2 people for eviction. There's another competition called the veto, where we can maybe get off the block, maybe replace one of those people depending on how the cards fall, and evict someone out and start all over again until there's only 2 people standing, and then the jury votes for the final person to win. So it's a very complicated game. It's a very long game. It is a reality TV show, and even in the world of reality TV, I would say it's the biggest anomaly of shows because it's the only one that is filmed and aired live. So not only can you watch us 3 nights a week, pretty much in real time, like these episodes are being turned over like immediately, but there's also a live feed portion of the show where people can watch 24/7 if they just pay $6 a month, which is, I think, too little to be like watching me sleep and listening to me fart. I think you should have to pay more, personally.
Seriously.
Because I know there are other websites that people pay top dollar for those things specifically. For me to walk around barefoot farting?
Oh,
are
absolutely.
you kidding?
And you should be getting a cut. You should be getting a cut of those people that are paying to be able to watch the live feeds.
I did not. And I did not. And I did
Last
not.
time you checked, you did not. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah. Okay. So that's really fun. Wait, first, okay. How did you get on Big Brother? Like, what did you apply organically? Were you approached?
I was approached.
Okay.
I'm what you call a recruit.
Okay. But a great recruit. I'll just say that, because there are some recruits that I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I feel like, and honestly, they knew what they were doing with me. Like, they definitely had a whole plan with me. And I think I fumbled their plan a little bit once I got in the house, because I was like, I was not there to win. My season, Paul was there to win. The whole season was made for Paul to win.
Absolutely.
It was comebacks. They don't do that all the time on Big Brother. They don't have a whole pre-produced season before the season starts. It's normally a pretty like true to whatever, some light production involvement maybe, but like, I was not put on that show to win. No. I was put on that show to like be loud and obnoxious and fight and like cause drama. And then I got on the show and I was like, wait, I wonder if I could win. Like, maybe I should like behave a little bit. And I didn't
maybe I should
entirely.
Take this seriously. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So then I was like, I should maybe take this seriously. Like, maybe I can actually win. No. So yeah, I was a recruit. They found me on Instagram. I was previously working on the Kid Craddock morning show. Shout out, kid. Love you.
No.
And I got a DM and they were like, hey, do you like open call for Big Brother is in Dallas? Do you want to come apply? And I was like, I think I left them on red, or I was like, politely, no, thank you.
Right.
Mostly because my job at the time was to talk about reality TV on the radio.
Yeah.
And hear horror stories from like the Bachelor contestants coming in and being like, oh yeah. And actually, my face at that time was a reaction for someone else saying this 3 days prior, and it just made it look like I was a huge bitch.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, oh my God, I know. I'm the easiest person to villainize in the world. I have mental illness. So like, I have no like even now to this day, almost 10 years later, and I'm maybe worse behaved than I was at the time of putting me on TV. But I knew I had enough sense then that I was like, I will be villainized.
Right.
I will be villainized. America will hate me. And so I was like, no, I can't do it. But simultaneously, some of the producers at Kid Craddock weren't like thrilled with me. And so they were kind of trying to like get me out of there. And I was seeing that sort of happening too. And so I finally was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna DM her back and be like, sure, what do I need? A cute hat and a spray tan? What do I do? What's my next step? And I'll just see, because I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people are applying to this show. And like, what are the odds I'll even get on? But like, if I do, then it was meant for me, and so be it. And I can try to get a different radio job when I get off this weird TV show. So I just went with it. And my casting story is crazy. Like, once I made it to finals, like crazy things happened in LA. Like I almost was getting to the point where I was like, I'm either definitely meant to be on this show, because how is this my casting story? Yeah. Or I'm definitely not meant to be on this show, because why did a stranger throw up on me last night? And why don't I have a hotel room? And then why did my flight cancel? And you know, like there's something trying to stop me. And I didn't know what, but I got on the show. I was actually the first person that all the EPs said yes to in the first round of casting. Oh my gosh. So like anybody that was like a blonde, big tittied, obnoxious girl from Texas casting in like round 2 of casting simply had probably no shot, but just in case, you know. And so my casting journey was kind of crazy, because I was just, hey, do you want to apply? Hey, we're just pushing you to second rounds. Hey, and it just happened really seamlessly. And then I get on the show, and other people tell their casting stories, and they're like, I've been trying to get on this show for 16 years. And I'm like, oh, really? It was like so easy for me. I barely tried. Actually, I kind of didn't want to be here. I was just like, I'll fill out half the paperwork, and if they take that, then okay.
You're like, it's not my fault that I'm really charming and pretty, and they just needed me for the show. It's not my fault.
It's hard. It's not hard to get on reality TV. It's literally
it's like,
not.
Wait, you guys are trying?
The easiest thing I've done. I didn't even mean to. I didn't mean to be on the radio. I got that job on accident. I got the TV show job on accident. I'm not even seeking these things out. So no.
That's so funny.
I was recruited. So that's my my casting story. I was a casual fan of the show before. I had not seen every season. I had seen the last couple of seasons, skipped some. I had seen some like 12, 13 around there. So I had not seen everything. I thought live feeds were like, I don't know, my dumbass. And I actually feel a lot better, because I've heard so many alums come off and say this. Even people that were like big fans of the show, like just never watched live feed, but like watch the show. Yeah. Where did we get off thinking that live feeds were just kind of going to be like really crappy visual, like really grainy, like you would, no babe, it's the same. It's actually the same camera that they're using for network television primetime on CBS. Yeah, it's actually the same equipment. It's going to be the same microphone and the same camera. So why you think they are like transitioning back to 1997 to capture this live? Maybe because I knew it was only $6 a month. And I was like, well, it can't be any good. If it's $6, if it's $5.99, it's trash. My mom taught me that. No, it's they can see and hear everything. People quit their jobs. They take leaves of absences to just transcribe the entire season and to literally watch us sleep, watch us eat, watch us fart. Everything. I was not expecting that element. I was like, a lot of people watch the show. I think a lot of people watch it on TV. Like, they're casual fans of the show. Like, people watch it. Yeah. No, people rearrange their lives.
I'm going to embarrassingly say I am one of them. Not to the extent of like having to quit my job, but I will say that your season actually is the first season that I really dived into live feeds. And so like, I always knew that there were live feeds. I mean, okay, so I started watching.
I get it though. I get it.
It's addicting. It's addicting.
And and you get the whole story.
Well,
They
okay,
lie to
yes.
the producers are lying to us.
Oh, 100%. Okay, so
That's
like,
why people like me. If you're my fan, you watched live feeds. If you
yes.
did not, if you don't
No.
like me that much, you watched the edited show.
No, but 100%. And I mean, even same with like Jess and Cody, like respect to them. Like it is really crazy. So like I would consider myself like a super fan, but I will say like I started watching from what I remember because I was so young, Janelle's season 6. And then I might have fallen off around like 9 or 10. But I mean, for the most part, like back when live feeds would only come on HBO and they called it After Dark and it was only from like 12 to 3 or something, you know, like a small window. But like I never really kept up with live feeds like after that. And then season 19, I was working and like I just worked like a desk job and thankfully like they were so chill. It was like a TV media production company. So it was like if nothing's really going on, you know, like you have to be at the front. But like you can watch Netflix, you can watch YouTube, like whatever. So there was some amazing person that would, I don't know how, like they just recorded all of like a whole live feed section and then they'd upload it to YouTube. So I was just like, oh, cool.
Because you were getting the free live feed.
Yes. I found a little loophole. But because to your point, like I watched season 18 and I loved Paul. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he got gypped. So I was so excited to see him on season 19. And but I didn't watch from the very beginning. I didn't watch live feeds, but like I watched. And then I started realizing, oh yeah, like let me just kind of go into live feeds. So your season was the first season that I truly got a glimpse of how producers can really change the narrative and really kind of create whatever storyline they want. Like, sure, yeah, they can only, like, you know, if you say something, you say it, but they can, you know, cut it and twist it and just make things look however they want. So it's like, if you're just casually watching, you're like, oh my gosh, like Paul really got gypped, or like, why does Cody hate him or something? You know, like you're seeing like these, it's like, where's the disconnect? But then if you're watching those live feeds and you're seeing all those things unravel and like his mastermind of, you know, manipulation, like I truly was just like, holy crap. I was like, this is a whole nother world.
You know what they even do on live feeds that's a little crazy? And granted, I don't know that I've personally witnessed this, but I heard this from like so many fans, especially like my people that really liked Elena and were like following my game and stuff. If me and allegedly, because I was in the house, so I don't know, but allegedly, anytime me and Mark would even start to talk about Paul on live feeds and like, okay, how, like what's going to be, we need to go talk to Matt and try to get him to do this, like anything against Paul, like we want Paul out of the house, they would apparently cut the feeds to another camera.
Oh my God.
Because I have heard a lot, because I haven't watched my season.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of clips. I've mostly seen live feed clips.
Okay.
And I've seen like the first episode and last episode, I watched them right after the show. And then last summer, I tried to watch it and I made it through 6 episodes.
Okay.
And then I had to stop.
Really?
But I had heard that like a lot of mine and Mark's gameplay is you don't see on TV that we're against Paul. Obviously we still play the middle a little bit because like what are you going to do if I'm like I'm trying to get you out? Well then I go from public enemy number 4 to public enemy number 2.
Absolutely.
So I'll take 4 and see what I can do until like we get down to 1 and 2 and I really, you know, have to figure that out. But like apparently anything showing where you know, we were gaming against Paul or whatever didn't make the show. A ton, allegedly. I don't know. And there's a lot to put on the show. A lot of stuff happens in that house with a lot of people. But then fans were telling me that we would be like in the middle of a conversation, like gaming, talking, and that they would just cut feeds and like go to something where like me and Mark are talking game. So normally they would keep it on somebody talking game rather than cutting to another camera of people doing being silly or just talking personal, and that they would cut our camera every single time. And I'm like, that's weird. Like y'all are even trying to kind of manipulate
Even the
feeds
live
a little
feeds.
bit. I don't know how much that happened. I don't know. I can't even testify that it did happen, but I just heard it enough times that I was like, I feel like that happened.
I mean, I could probably see how, because like now, for like where I am now, I don't really watch, but I'm very much a the podcast here in Armstrong. It's escaping
Rob has
me.
a podcast.
Yes, and him doing the recap. Like I very much like listen to that. Like so, like when I go on my walks, like I'll listen to that or like follow along Twitter. So I'm not like visually watching it really. But I will say that like if I would tune in, it feels like as soon as a conversation got good about something, they would flip the cameras. And I'm like, why?
Well, maybe it's because they want to save that piece for TV, or who knows what they're all thinking. And you never know, like, who really knows. But there are some things that are just curious. There's some interesting, like, probably my favorite story to tell that like just proves production was playing with Paul is this one competition we had. It was an HOH comp, and I can't remember exactly when in the season it was, but they had just pissed me off. Like something had just, I think they had maybe just sent Ramses out on Jessica's HOH.
Right.
And I'm still mad at Jessica because I'm like, put 2 people up that we want out, and one of them will definitely leave. So they blindside us sending Ramses out, and I was like vocal. I was like, I'm winning this next fucking HOH, and I'm like coming like I was like being vocal to like Matt, Raven, Paul, and maybe that's it. I have no idea if that was on feeds. I have no idea if that made the show. I have no idea. But the next HOH was a memory comp, and we had to memorize all these things. And I'm probably like, me and Paul were the only two, it was either going to be me that was going to win or Paul that was going to win, if we're just being honest. And there was probably 1,000 different variables of things we could remember, or like things that they could ask us about what we remember. Like there's even more than that. There's probably like 10,000 different questions they could ask us about the things that they had us memorize. And Paul sent Kevin, who was like kind of a neutral, like didn't, that was definitely his secret weapon, because I was like, Paul, Kevin's not doing anything. Kevin's just here. Kevin's just glad that he doesn't have to deal with his kids right now, and really got roped into having extra kids that he doesn't even love unconditionally. He played himself. So that's what I thought about Kevin the whole time. Or I was like, or he's trying to like not go to jail on some sort of like monster charge. Like he's not here for Big Brother. He's here for something different. But Paul was using him. So Paul sent him to me to go change one thing in my mind. And you know what's so crazy? This is what's so crazy. And I should have trusted my gut. I should have trusted my intuition. That I don't even remember anything about this challenge, but I remember the one thing. I remember remembering this thing because it reminded me of Kelly Raspberry, who is from Kid Craddock, Myrtle Beach. That was the thing. There were like 4 places to remember, and one of them was Myrtle Beach. And in my head, I always try to like make a correlation. So I was like, Myrtle Beach, Kelly Raspberry. So I was going to remember that. And then Paul sent Kevin to go tell me that it was not Myrtle Beach. It was, and I don't know what he told me, but something different.
Oh my gosh.
And it got in my head enough that I was like, okay, it's not Myrtle Beach. It's this other place. That was the first question that they asked us in the challenge. I was the only one that went out. Even Mark, his dumbass, was like, no, Elena, I think you're right. I think he's wrong. I think you're right. So even he was listening to my original right answer and got it right. And I was out on that HOH, and I was the first one out. And it broke my soul.
No.
That's like,
no.
And that's how I knew in that moment. I'm like, you could have asked me a million different questions. You could have asked all of us a million different questions. But you went and found the one thing that Paul is trying to use to get me specifically to not win this competition, because because you've heard me tell Mark that if I'm HOH, I'm going to do this and this and try to backdoor this. So you know my plan, and my plan B and my plan C.
That's so
and you
crazy.
asked the one question I would get wrong that Paul planted, which like great gameplay. Great gameplay.
But still.
But let's say I had that idea and I was like, yo, Kevin, go tell Paul that it's actually whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Would they have used that question to guarantee Paul get out of the game, or even to just like highlight that gameplay? Like if they wanted, I don't even know if that gameplay made the show. I don't know if that made the episode where Paul was like, go tell, I don't know if that made the air. That would make sense if they were trying to produce it in a way like, but would they have done that?
So long,
the
I
opposite?
can't even remember.
No, they would not have.
Exactly.
They would not have asked the question because it would have risked Paul winning the HOH, and Paul won that HOH. So
that's so crazy.
Interesting. I know.
No, it is. It's just like little things. It's like you can't for sure prove it, but you're just like, huh, it's just ironic that all these, and you can kind of put it together. Exactly. Exactly. So, okay, I know you said you like started to watch your season, but you didn't finish it. Why? Is it just so hard to watch? Like, does it mess with your mental? Like, what is the, because I feel like there's so many Big Brother players. And I mean, honestly, just like almost anybody in like a reality TV space, they say they can't stomach watching it, like their season back. But I'm just curious, like, I know you say it's like, okay, well, I've lived it, I don't need to see it. But it's like,
but there's so much I lived that I didn't know about.
Right.
That
yes.
You know, like,
yes.
There's so much I don't know
like,
what
I
happened.
need to know. Yeah. Like, I need to know how it's being perceived to everybody else.
It's so funny, too, because obviously I played my season with Paul, who was a vet who just played. So we, as new first-time players, we're like, you know, asking him all these questions, talking to him about this. What's it like for this? What's it like coming off the show? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? And then we're like, well, what's it like watching back? And he's like, oh, I didn't watch back. And then knowing Paul, okay. And then, and I just, I'm like, no, you fucking liar. I was like, of course you did. I'm like, yes, you did. Like, just stop trying to play all coy. Like, oh yeah, I'm so uninterested. I didn't even, like, loser. Yes, you did. I just answer my questions. Just be honest.
Right.
No, because I was just being honest with myself at that moment. And in that moment, I would have been like so eager to get out and be like, how am I being perceived? Like, what is it? Like, what do I eat?
Right.
In that moment, I felt like I wanted to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come out and the curiosity is still there. It's like watching the first episode is fun. Even now, it kind of gives me like little butterflies. It's kind of giddy. It's like the start of something.
Right.
And it's like, it's just fun and playful. We're just getting to know me. We're just getting to know you.
Right. And everybody, like everybody likes
nice.
each other right now.
Like it's just so palatable.
Yeah.
And then shit gets so real, and it gets real pretty quick on my season. And it is interesting because like watching back, I did see things that I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like one of the biggest things the first 2 to 3 episodes on our season is, well, we have a self-evict, Megan.
Right.
Self-evicts for my season. But there's this whole thing happening at the and I'm living it. So I'm watching it happen, right?
Yeah.
But I had no idea what actually was happening until I watched the show. Like, and it was that was just funny to watch back. And so I bet there are so many other moments like that I'm like robbing myself of, because it was kind of, that was enjoyable for me. It was like Megan misunderstood.
Yes.
Like Jessica called Alex Pow Pow.
Yes.
And then Megan thought that she called her Panda, and then went and like told, and
oh my gosh,
that was of this stuff happened, and all I heard was Megan said you're a racist. So I missed all this context, and not to me, about Jessica, who obviously isn't. And who was saying something that is like a Big Brother reference, like low-key Alex was kind of acting like Pow Pow.
Right, yeah.
So like, that was interesting to watch, because I was like, I did live that, and I watched all the drama happen, and I remember being confused about it and never really getting like an answer, and it was just so blatantly right in front, because I could see, I watched every element. I watched the original conversation where nothing bad happened. I watched the accusation. I watched the confusion. So like seeing it so clear cut was very interesting, because all I saw was chaos, you know?
Yeah.
Or lived. So I'm sure there's so many moments like that, but yeah, I think as like as I progressed watching the season, it just got harder and realer and more involved with me and stuff that I'm like, looking back, hindsight 2020, like I wish I would have trusted that gut instinct more. I wish I
Right.
would have this. I wish I would have that. And so like it kind of, I feel like it's just like very much like living in your regret in a
Right.
way.
Right. Yeah. I kind of have to relive it.
But I love live feed clips. Like those I love. I'll go back and I have a whole album in my phone of just Big Brother memories, and
Yeah.
I'll sometimes I'll scroll those, and those I have so much fun with. I can watch live feed, no problem. Watching a produced Big Brother episode now irks me out. And again, that doesn't make sense to me because you would think like watching live feeds is actually watching where I actually lived, and I don't know, but and I didn't really have to deal with like all the production elements, like when I'm going through my own trauma, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like you can't hear the post production elements, that sound and this thing and all those like iconic like little Big Brother like things that you hear.
Yeah.
That is what gets me. Like I will.
Oh my gosh.
I have physical reactions to it. Like
so interesting.
Hearing Big Brother's voice, hearing the little segue, like in musical intros, like Julie Chen. Oh, I get full body chills.
Oh my
But
gosh.
just like clips of me in the house or other people's clips of just like I watched live feeds season 20. It was actually, I had it on all day because I was triggered and like traumatized. It was like a weird way but I could not really watch the show.
So
I wouldn't watch the CBS episode. I would just watch live feeds all day. And then I'd wake up and I'd put them on my TV, live feeds.
Oh my gosh.
And that like I don't know why. There was some sort of, it's like Stockholm syndrome. Like you hate it, but you need it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know like that is really interesting. And I know you definitely are somebody that is very open about your mental health and everything. And I know just like watching that back and like living that experience being like traumatic, but then just like living your normal life, you go from the show to then live your normal life and you're just like I said, living your life, posting how you want to post. And then you have to deal with the people and their thoughts and their criticism and stuff. Like, is it a different type of trauma of just kind of like, okay, the show itself, because, you're literally entering the show knowing it's lies and manipulation and all that stuff. But then you come out, you're like, okay, like that was fun. That was a game. Now you're just trying to live your life. Like what?
It's all interesting. What's funny is I knew the show would be hard. Like, that people are going to be lying, backstabbing, betrayals, like, you're going to have to do it. I was even afraid for that. I'm like, I'm probably going to get close to someone and I'm going to have to hurt them. Like, I didn't even look forward to that. Yeah. I probably actually feared that more than actually being hurt myself by someone in the house because I was like, I can handle it. But what if someone else can't? And then I hurt them. Yeah. So stuff like that is part of the game. I knew it was going to be hard. So I very much prepared myself mentally for it. And almost too much to the point where I don't think I showed enough realness of emotion in the house. Because in my mind, if I showed emotion about anything, even if it was a side conversation, this, that, or the other, that gave my opponent, power. They would know that's something that upsets her. That's something that she feels really strongly about. So anytime big important conversations were happening, game conversations, I tried to remain with intention very neutral. I didn't want to seem overly bothered by something or overly upset by something or overly triggered by something because I didn't want to give anyone power. Yeah. But I think that took a bit of my humanity away from me in like the eyes of players, in the eyes of people watching. Right. And kind of went against just everything I stand for, which is just general authenticity. But that's the game of Big Brother. Exactly. It's a really interesting thing. But all that to say is I very much prepared my mind for how hard the game was going to be in the house. And I did not prepare myself at all for how things would change or be challenging after the house. I, once again, was stupid enough to think that I was going to play Big Brother. And then I would probably get a little of attention after the show. Right. Like a couple of months, people, from home, and I'd be like, oh, that's so cool, blah, blah. Maybe I'll get like 10, 15,000 followers on Instagram. And then I would return to essentially my normal life. Like a year later, everything would be back to normal, essentially.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. And just the stuff that you go through in the house that lingers.
Yeah.
Also, I thought like I would be able to very much like consolidate it. Like that's people lie and backstab on Big Brother. And then no, now I'm just like, no, everybody's lying and backstabbing. I trust no one. I'm better. I am better about that stuff now, to be honest. But for a long time, it's I don't know. It's almost hard to explain. I had a weird relationship with mirrors. That one's hard to explain because the whole house is mirrors.
Right.
So we would use them to like if I'm having a private conversation in the bathroom and I would be looking in this mirror that shows that mirror that glares to the hallway, that glares further to the hallway, that glares to the kitchen. So I would just be constantly checking mirrors to make sure that no one was coming. Almost to the point, and you have to remember too, like people that are listening are just like, it is 100 days, 24/7. That's 3 months. Like, think about how long a day, and then you don't do anything. You don't have a job. You don't have responsibilities. Like, you eat and shit. And like, and honestly, actually, I didn't even shit that much because I was just going through so much that my body was off. So it's like, the amount, I don't know, the amount of time that I was using mirrors in that house and just checking and looking and like that followed me for years. For years, I would be like looking and you don't even see. It's not like there are always mirrors around, but anytime there would be, like, it's like I would catch myself like using them to like watch out, and I would sneak up on conversations for like years.
Like they're plotting against you. Yeah.
Yes. Like sneak into a room, listen for a little bit before I came in, and I'm like, huh. So y'all are talking about shoes.
That is so crazy. I mean, and like that makes sense. So, and that's just crazy too, because that is, and like you said, it's like you gave yourself the mindset of like, okay, this is going to be a game. So it's like, okay, but I can't even imagine, you know, kind of shifting gears just a little bit, just like regular reality TV where it's not a game focus, you know, it's okay, I'm on reality TV exposing my life. I mean, I truly can't even process that. I mean, like, obviously we know
I've kind of grown up with an audience, and that's something that's interesting and like hard to even, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. Like, everything that I struggle with my mental health, and like, you have to, if you want to be on reality TV, just as a, listen, if
a PSA.
You can't be too mentally ill, but you cannot be mentally sane. They don't want you.
Right.
You're either green, yellow, or red, and I was yellow.
Just
mentally ill enough. And then doing that made me red. Now I would not pass the psych test to get on a show.
Oh my god.
Because I've done a show. But yeah, like it's weird just to like have that experience, struggle, do it publicly, go through all of that publicly, and then struggle with it publicly. Like I was on, you know, I was on in a showmance in the show as well. So that gave me just a lot of extra attention after the show, where people are like much more invested in wanting to see how this all plays out. The last 10 years of my life have truly just been like what? Like, who does that? Who does what I've done? And, but I did it, and then I did it, and then I did it again. And then I even have free will now. Like, I just have an Instagram. So like I could isolate myself. I'm not filmed 24/7.
Right.
Like I could keep my bad moments to myself, but I don't. I'm like, I'm feeling everything right now. You know what I should do? Set my camera up, hands free, record.
And that's literally what I love about you. And that's literally like, that's what I love. And that's what's crazy too. It's like, I love how open and vulnerable you are. And I feel like people too, it's just interesting because, you know, that's what people crave. It's like, people that are in the spotlight, like they have a following, on TV, whatever. They want people that are relatable and vulnerable. But then sometimes, you know, I feel like then there's all of a sudden a point where everybody's like, oh my gosh, they're being too real or too vulnerable, or there's something that's too controversial that's going on. And then everybody then wants to go into an attack mode, or like, no, they don't deserve anything. I mean, kind of going just to the, whole Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Taylor Frankie Paul and all of that. It's like, we were drawn to her and like the group of girls because they were messy, they were chaotic, they were kind of just living their lives and being very open to sharing that with all of us. And unfortunately, obviously, like there's huge things going on in the headlines right now. But now everybody, I mean, I guess I've honestly seen kind of a mixed bag of some people kind of being supportive and then some people being like, oh, why are we giving these people a platform? But I mean, it's just interesting because people are craving chaos and messy. And then once all that stuff happens, then it's like,
well, messy to a point, messy where
to
it's
a
still
point.
Palatable. It's even same just with mental health in general. People are always have all the space in the world for it until it's inconvenient, until it's someone who has like a hygiene issue, until it's someone who's struggling with their mental health so much that they don't brush their teeth or shower for 6 weeks.
Right.
And then they're gross. Or until someone like there's always empathy and grace and space until a point.
Yeah.
And that's, I personally have all the empathy and space and grace for Taylor Frankie Paul. Do I condone domestic violence? No, but I can still, I don't know about y'all. I contain multitudes. I live in a place where duality is a thing, where I can not condone something and then also have like empathy and kindness and space for someone. Two things can be true at the same time. And I think that there's probably so much to be said about reactive abuse and like what was happening before cameras were rolling, what's happened that Dakota has done that hasn't been filmed. There's just a million things. And as someone who's made mistakes publicly, I've made mistakes. I'm going to again. And honestly, I love that about myself. I love that I'm brave enough to live publicly and to make mistakes publicly and to crash out publicly, because then I apologize publicly and I take accountability, or I grow publicly, and it all happens publicly. And I hope that, because I don't even make a full living on Instagram anymore. I am truly showing up for like my fellow crash outs and my fellow mental health girlies and people that need evidence that like duality is a thing, that you can contain multitudes. I can have like the biggest, kindest, warmest heart in the world and still fight a bitch if I'm pushed to a certain level.
Absolutely.
Like I'm both people. I am the kindest, like most loving, warmest, I will do anything for you ass bitch in the world. And then I will also curb stomp you. If properly motivated. If you push me there, I do it. I'm not above it. I don't think I'm better than curb stomping. I don't. So I just think it's like people need to remember that like duality. We all contain multitudes. Like what's different from other people is like they've made bad mistakes with men. They've gotten really drunk and fucked up. They've like had stupid sexual relations, and the general population have done all of these things. They just haven't done it with an audience of millions.
Absolutely.
With a full camera crew, with an audio boom, with a producer, with sit down confessionals. They haven't had to do anything hard publicly.
Right. Yep.
And like anybody else that's judging her entirely or can't find any space or grace or empathy or relatability to any one of those girls, I envy that person, because you are living soft.
Absolutely. Such a great life.
You are living a really good life. If you're full of judgment for someone and you can't find any grace, then that must mean you haven't even been tempted. You haven't been put in a situation where the only thing that you could do was maybe the bad thing.
Right. Absolutely.
What a soft, beautiful life you've lived, because I've made choices out of, it was pretty much the only choice I could make. I've made just bad choices in general. Like, I really have range, but I've also done amazing things. And,
well, Exactly. And that's
I've done both.
Yeah. And I love that. And like kind of to my point of just like, we want people like, that's what I have trouble understanding of, and like you said, yeah, it is to a point. Like, we don't want just somebody just being like a serial killer running around and we're like, oh my gosh, that's so relatable. But like, we want people that are having a platform and doing amazing things, like getting amazing opportunities, but also being like, I have these struggles. I go through this. Like, I'm clearly not perfect. But it is kind of crazy because then you have these people that have no issue criticizing, have no issue just giving them hate and being very vocal about it. I mean,
it's always the Christians. Ugh.
With like
I don't even like to identify. I am a Jesus girl. I just identify as a Jesus girl, like a woo woo Jesus girl. Like, I believe in Jesus. I believe he is my Christ and Savior. I believe he's God's son. I believe he died on the cross. All those things. I also believe in chakras. A lot of Christians, that would send them. They would be upset. I talk to my tree outside. I talk to it all the time. I'm like, please take my negative energy. Please go get revenge on my haters. Like, I do some woo-woo stuff, and I believe in Jesus, and I love Jesus. I don't even like identifying as a Christian because there's been such a bad
connotation with it sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like we get a bad reputation in it, and it's like it's the least Christ-like thing to do, right? To judge. And
especially
that's what
going
all
out of
the
your
Christians
way
are doing.
say something.
My least favorite are like the faith-based creators that are creating content about like the Taylor Frankie Paul situation in a like condemning, self-righteous kind of way, like boosting their belief and like trying to sell a course or a whatever at the example of someone's just hardest thing they've ever gone through in their life. And in a self-righteous way, like, you're the last person I want like advice from personally. My God, my Jesus, he was flipping tables at church. Okay. He was hanging out with prostitutes and sinners. In fact, all of his disciples, half of them were in jail. They were not perfect people. So to me, I think if anything, like, more power to people that are willing to live publicly, make mistakes publicly, and be shown God's grace publicly and grow publicly, because it, not to like romanticize bad behavior or even normalize bad things, but ultimately we are all humans with living with the human condition, and I'll just say that representation matters, like, I need a mentally ill queen. I need one. Maybe other people don't. Maybe another girl needs a perfect princess, perfectly aesthetic queen to look up to or to relate to. I don't relate to that girl. But we all need and look for people in the world that we can like relate to and find comfort in and be inspired by and grow from. And I hope that I'm that for a small handful of people, that they can see me like living boldly and like making oopsies and then being like, okay, well, my oopsie doesn't define me. And so like I can carry on, and that be a motivation for them to apply that to their life. And like, I also need inspiration. And I'm not saying I'm actively looking for inspiration from Taylor Frankie Paul right now, but like, I have looked up to her for years. I follow her. I still follow her. Yeah. I think she has great things to say about some things. Just like I do. And then I'm probably not the go-to end all be all for like another thing. Yeah. But I just like, she's a human, and she's gone through way more than we could even possibly know. I know that because I, as a public figure who's been scrutinized and judged and all the things, not even to that level, a million people think they have me all figured out, or like think they know. Even as someone who's incredibly open and tries to share as much as I can, like, I don't have the bandwidth to tell everything, or for some situations, I don't have the words to even, I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah. So there's just so much we don't know. And like, I have space for the unknown. I just have space for it all. I can hold all that space. This is not okay. I love you through this. Yep. Et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I've also I personally think she has borderline personality disorder. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I'll say that I think, as someone who has borderline personality disorder, I think that Taylor Frankie Paul has borderline personality disorder. Again, it doesn't condone any of this bad behavior, but it's certainly, because I've had a lot of bad behavior too. Okay, like I crash out physically. I throw things.
Right.
I've made holes in my wall in this house because I was punching and kicking walls because I was so mad and upset. Because when you have borderline personality disorder, it is a neurological condition.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in an episode, your prefrontal cortex goes completely offline. You have no access to it. And that is where all of the logic happens in your brain. And unfortunately, your amygdala goes like 10 times up. And that's where like emotion happens in your brain. So even if like someone could be like, oh yeah, that would hurt my feelings too. Like for me, my feelings, if I'm in an episode, it's all I can feel. It's like you might relate, but you could never understand the depth or the extreme at which I'm capable of feeling it because my brain just stopped working.
And speaking on that, oh, sorry, keep going. No, keep going.
I was just saying, and that can only happen. There's a lot of comorbidity. You could have this and that, but like mostly borderline personality is something you develop because of trauma.
Yeah.
So like you have to be exposed to trauma to develop it, and then you can undevelop it. You can't take medicine. It's like a long therapy process. And I shouldn't be diagnosing someone, but I just am like,
well,
a lot of people online are like, oh, she's using drugs. I can tell. And I'm like, she ain't using drugs, baby. No, part of her brain just turned off. And I can see it because it's happened to me a lot.
And I want to say though, I am super glad, honestly, that you have posted so much about borderline personality disorder, because I'll be so honest, I did not know that much about it. Like, and I get some confused sometimes because, I feel like, do they use the same acronym for bipolar and borderline? Is it both? Do they use BPD?
Technically, it is confusing. I think BPD is technically borderline personality disorder. And I think if you use bipolar, it's supposed to be like BPD-1 or BPD-2 because you can have bipolar 1 or bipolar 2. But traditionally, I think people are supposed to call bipolar, and then BPD gets that one. I don't know how that works.
That makes
sense.
I
haven't read the whole DSM-5.
What? Why not? But I did not know. I mean, I've heard of that, but I didn't really know what it was until you started posting so much more about it. And so, one, thank you for that, because again, like I just didn't really.
Thank you for reading or listening to what I share, because I can share a lot of stuff and people have the free will to either educate with me or not. So it means a lot that people would actually like learn about it.
And I
struggle with it.
I definitely did. I was like, oh wow. And then like I started then looking up, it led me to look up like TikToks about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like interesting and all that. But
Doja Cat just came out and said that she was just diagnosed with BPD in a TikTok too. And so I'm like, yay. Not really, but yay.
Not yay, but I'm sure
that's awful, but it's nice to like see it being talked about more, especially because
I really feel like it hasn't.
I've probably had BPD for like 10 to 15 years now, at least 8 to 9 years, and I had no idea, and even doctors couldn't diagnose me properly. Even psychiatrists,
especially
it's
if
just
there's
like
not known about. Well, and I feel like it's
and they don't want to because they can't just prescribe me medicine. So I think that's part of it. But yeah, like if I had been diagnosed years ago, or even if I could have learned about it, that would have. Yeah, it could have helped.
Probably just could have helped. Yeah, you at least kind of have an idea of like, oh, this is probably what I'm going through right now. Yeah, I mean, it is very interesting. And so obviously with you like knowing that you have that, I'm sure, I mean, just like, I mean, I think you've talked about this too, like having ADHD, because I have ADHD. So it's like I can pick up, when somebody else, I'm like, ooh, they definitely have that. So I'm sure it's so much easier for you to be like, oh no, like I know some of those like signs and stuff like that.
It's weird, like watching this season, and my mom, like, we just watched season 4, a couple weeks ago, and my mom watched it with me, and she'll just like look over and she's like, you. And I'm like, I know. Like every time Taylor's like crashing out, she was like, she just points at it and looks at me, and I'm like, I know.
Like, you're like, okay, so I have to get your thoughts, because I've seen kind of like a mixed bag on her mom, and I don't think, and I'm just curious on your perspective of it, I don't think her mom, I feel like she's giving her tough love, right? No? Or is it, or I guess, okay, so now that I have the
toxic.
thought. Okay. Well, so no, now that you've said in the scope of, okay, like switching gears on like, okay, let's say she does have that, then I feel like, sure, yeah, like it probably does need to be approached differently because like you said, if you're feeling things so much more, the quote unquote tough love would not translate.
No, it will do the exact opposite.
Okay,
if someone in a split.
And
so
I'm so glad you said
my
that,
mom is completely neurotypical. Like I get all of my like mental health struggles from my dad's side of the family. It's been a long journey of even getting my mom and I kind of to where she's always been empathetic and loving and like, but she just didn't understand and then wouldn't really know how to approach and this and that. But like the most important, and it like broke my heart seeing her talking to her mom and her being like, but you're the mom, you're supposed to be a safe space. Like that crushed me because that's the only thing you can really be for someone in a split is like listen to them. Like you have to validate them. So anything that invalidates someone that's going through a BPD episode or like struggling with borderline personality, you're just turning them up. Like the second my mom's like, no, I'm like, you want to fight? Like I'll put my hands on you. Do you want to go outside and fight? Because I'll fight you physically.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's like that quick. But the second my mom just like and I honestly think a little bit of potentially just like if her mom has never really been a safe space to her where she could go for stuff like that, that probably could have caused can cause borderline personality disorder.
Right. Yeah.
Mixed with other like complex traumas that in my mind, like that could be a developmental catalyst. But it's definitely the opposite approach of like, you need to be like loving and understanding and like create a space where like their feelings matter. And so she's like, she's like the oil and vinegar or something here. It's just,
there's no drive. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm really glad you brought that perspective of it because I mean, I wasn't even thinking of borderline personality disorder. So in my mind, I was just like, yeah, I'm sure she does need tough love. It's probably really hard watching, your daughter
and like
just make these decisions.
Her mom loves her. It's out of
like
love.
You're seeing the emotion. Yeah.
Yes. But it's just, it won't translate someone in, or at least it wouldn't to me. And I feel like I watched it not happen, not really translating for her. But like tough love does need to happen in life. But like, I don't know, when I'm hurting, like I need my mom. I just need like to know that I'm safe and that like my mom's going to be there and like, it's all going to be okay is probably the only headway we'll make with inside of a big episode. But I have like my heart hurts for like all of them. I mean, it's and there's just so many complexities. Even the girls that are like going through this situation kind of parallel. I know how much they're getting hate and opinions from you should be more supportive. You should be making a stance saying that you don't blah, blah, blah. But then their livelihoods are on the line. Like there's so much. I've been pressured to feel like I need to say something or not say something or I should support. It's just like you can't please everyone.
No.
Ever. And it's sometimes hard to remember that when you just feel like the world is demanding something out of you that maybe you don't even know how to feel yet. Like
yeah.
I just feel bad for all of them.
I do too. Yeah, my heart really is with them, and it is really interesting because I know I've seen half of the girls, come out, make a statement, the other half not. And then you just it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't know.
And why. I haven't said anything about it, even though I've seen other people, because it's been like, I'm even nervous to say something. Well, I feel like in a situation like this, I feel better about it because I have a few, like, I can actually say what I mean. But if you just like make a story, take one story slide up and you're like, I support this or I don't support that. Like you're removing all the nuance and all the like things that come into play. And it's just, I'm not trying to please everyone, but I'm also not trying to like offend people.
Right.
If I speak in support of her, but like she's a human that deserves love too.
Absolutely.
But like And if she doesn't get that, then that's going to be worse for her kids. It's just, there's so many layers and levels to this that
and
it's
for
hard.
you, like being in the public eye and being like an influencer on social media, whatever, like it's got to be so frustrating to feel like you have to make it's like you either make a statement and like you said, it'll get dissected and be like, oh, well, you didn't specify this part or whatever. Or if you don't make a statement, then it's like, why didn't you make a statement? And it's like crazy, even if you're in that situation, like to feel that pressure to have to do it. And even if you're not, you have to, it's like, I see it all the time, no matter what's going on and like anything that's like a scandal or something controversy happening, like a random influencer. It's like, why didn't you say something? It's like, what are you talking about? Like why do I have to make that statement?
It's so hard now too, because like if I were to say something about everything in our current world, like that's all I would be doing is speaking on something. I don't have the mental capacity. Like I used to be a lot more outspoken about like social issues and all. I learned that that's actually really, really detrimental to my mental health because of the fact that even if I have the best intentions or I could promote a charity, I've been shit on for promoting a charity because it was in Canada and because I probably didn't even donate myself, even though I did before I shared about it. It's just like, no matter what you do, you'll get dissected and it's just so hard. But I saw this like, and this is what's so sad is that I don't even know what it was in reference to, but someone was complaining like, oh, all the influencers that are just out here still posting collabs and links and blah, blah, in the middle of whatever the thing is that's going on, right? And I just responded. It was on Threads, and I was like, okay, you quit your job too then.
No, literally.
Like, what? Like,
literally.
I like, unfortunately, like the only way I make money right now is by doing collabs and
I don't understand.
and people buying it.
Yes.
Like, I would love to take every day off and have a moment of silence for like the unprecedented times, but only if you're going to quit your job too, and you're going to quit your job. We're all quitting our job because why do you get to pay your bills and I don't get to pay my bills? Oh, okay. So every time you work at the call center and you get a call at work and you're like, I would love to answer this customer service wise, but can we actually talk about what's going on kind of in the world right now? Because I want you to know my stance on it. Before I solve your problems at my paid job, I know. No, I get it. Like I have a platform and I should use it for good stuff. But
like, come on.
But like at the end of the day, also, I am now actively trying to avoid being depressed.
Right.
So like, if I could post something that would like inspire you to go stand outside and touch a tree and like do something good for you rather than like reminding you about World War III, I'm going to do the tree thing.
Right.
Because that will positively impact your individual personal life. Better. You will have a better day because you went outside and touched a tree because Elena told you to. If I just sit and drone on about World War III, I'm not improving your day, nor am I stopping World War III.
No,
nothing
exactly.
actually has gotten done, and I'm in a reverse mortgage, and it's just all bad.
And
so,
no, yes, I just don't understand why more people don't think like that. I'm just like, why can't you think like me? Because also too, like I follow influencers and social media people not for their takes per se. Maybe if they're involved in the situation, sure, maybe I want your take on it.
Because
but like,
why are so many people coming to a washed up reality TV star looking for guidance on like political world issues? What do you think I need to tell you about that? That's crazy.
It's like, what that says more about you than the influencer not posting about like it blows my mind.
If I felt confident to speak on something and I felt like I could really impact something, I would. But I don't. I don't. So I'm going to show you these cute shorts that are on sale.
Exactly. But why are you doing that
today?
But why are you doing that when there's all these problems going on 20 million countries away? I don't know.
It's crazy. It's just my favorite when people are like, you just don't use your platform right. And I'm like, and I think what you're doing at your job is weird too. I think what you're doing at your job is weird too. I don't know what you're doing, but I think it's weird.
No, I totally agree.
Unprecedented times. It's crazy.
Really...
I finally like have released that. I used to like let that fester and I would feel bad and I would feel shame. And I'm like, I'm not doing my part. And I'm like, no. I'm actually, by not doing this, I'm surviving one more day as me, which I don't know if I could have if I didn't. And then I'm actually trying to do things that I feel like will better people. And like, I know about mental health. I've struggled with mental health. I've never been to war. So I'm going to post about the thing I personally can speak on.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and if something else in my life changes, like my whole platform hasn't always been mental health. Like my platform will evolve with me. And like, I'm not saying that that I won't ever or have never, because I've certainly have used my platform for the greater good of some cause or issue or whatever. But it's just, if I did that every day to try to please everyone, I would get nothing else done.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't make those people happy. And that's the craziest part.
No.
They would still be mad at me.
And that's so crazy too. Like, one thing that I absolutely love about you is that you have no shame, no problem putting your trolls, haters on blast. I think it's absolutely hilarious because they should be embarrassed.
I think it's so fun.
No, it's so fun and so just intriguing to me because I'm like, the fact that they were like, this is good and I'm going to hit send. You know what I mean? Like and then I hope they feel so stupid and embarrassed when you share that with everybody. Cause like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know why people feel so comfortable to do that. Like, that's gotta be,
but I'll make them uncomfortable really fast.
And I love it. I love it. I seriously, like, I'm sure you're probably at such a better space than you, like, maybe in the past, but like, did it used to be where you would regret being so open and vulnerable? Cause you're like, okay, I might have gotten like 1,000 DMs of everybody being like, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing this. And then you could maybe gotten like 2 people just being like, F you. Would that overpower all the positive, or like, how did that?
Yeah, it definitely used to affect me more. Like, I could read all these loving DMs or comments or whatever, and I see, and then I see the one that's like mean or like an attack on my character, you know, saying I'm not funny or ugly or something. Right. And then I'm just like, I have everything to say to them, and I'm like, that's so interesting that I'm not. My first instinct isn't to say thank you to all the people that are being kind. It's like to attack this other person. And that still is an instinct, especially if it's like about your character. Like if someone's like, you're a bad person, and I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. I feel like I need to defend that a little bit. If you call me ugly or like stupid, like whatever, like I don't care. But I at least don't take it as personally now. And I used to make it a whole big thing, and you could tell I was bothered by it as much as I would even be like, I don't even care. Like, yeah, I obviously care. Now I almost won't even repost them or engage unless there's a way I can like make light of it, like make a joke about them in it. But it used to get to me for sure. Even when I would pretend it didn't, it was for sure getting to me. And even now, still things will light me up. Or if I'm like, let's say I'm already kind of struggling and in a BPD split or episode, and I see one comment, it's like, oh, you're done for. Like, if I had seen that 3 days ago, you would have been fine. But because I saw it today. Right. Like now you're getting it. Now it's on you, buddy. Yeah. No, I mean, I can only imagine like how that would affect. I mean, just for example, like I think the other day I was looking at one of the podcast episodes that I uploaded, and there was one person thumbsed it down, and I was like, who are you? Who did it? Yeah. And why? Tell me why. But yeah, so I mean, I can only, exactly. I need an essay. I need it to be like 300 words as to why you needed to thumbs down this. By the way. Yeah, like you could have just not liked it. Why'd you have to go thumbs down? So I can just only imagine. But I mean, all right. So like, we're going to close it up. I have one last question, and then we're going to get into like a new game that fun. I'm like incorporating. But like, so to wrap it all up, for somebody who's going to be going on reality TV, whether it's like Big Brother or just like they're going to start being on just like a reality TV, like what advice would you give them for kind of like what to expect going out of it and trying to live their life, thinking like, oh, I got it. Kind of like what you said. It's like you thought you were so mentally prepared. You knew what was going to happen afterwards. Like what would, I hate to even say this, but expect the unexpected. That's because good. As much as you can prepare for anything going on to a show and filming it or knowing what it's going to be like after the show, like you'll never be prepared for that because every experience It's going to be so unique. And then the times, the culture, what's happening in the world, like everything will impact it. And I think the biggest thing is just be authentic. I think you'll have the best shot getting cast on a show. I think you'll have the best performance on a show. And I think you'll have the happiest, like, transition back to life if you just lean into authenticity in every moment. And when you're filming or coming off, like, don't worry so much about perception. Like, people always worry, like, how am I going to be perceived? How am I going to be perceived? I think you should worry about collecting the right people, you know, because if you're doing something to appease the masses and then now that's your community, those are the standards you have to live up to every day. Like, if I put on any sort of front at all 10 years ago going into radio or TV or whatever, how could I maintain my following 10 years later? Like, I would just disappoint people left and right, make them mad, cause more problems. But like, I'm most worried every day about being my most authentic self, because that will eliminate the people that are not right for me, that are not supposed to be in my life, and that it will attract the right people in. So instead of being like, oh, should I not do this, or should I, what would people think? Like, who cares what they think? It's either going to be their deciding factor of like, I like this person or I don't like this person. And you should only want to be around the people that truly like you, who you are, not some play pretend image mask you put on. So it's kind of like a lame, cheesy, cliche answer, but like just authenticity across the board, I think wins every single time. And you're happier that way. And you don't even have to try to keep people happy that way, because they're already gone. They can't stand you.
No, I mean, and I don't think that's cliche.
That is my favorite thing about me, is people cannot stand me. I love that, because one, I make so much space at like concerts. Like, no one wants to be near the rodeo. I have the best seat in the house, because people will kind of get close and they're like, I can't stand that girl. They go stand somewhere else. But then also it's just so validating to me that I'm like being authentic, because if everybody liked me, that would be weird. And that would be a lot of pressure. And I don't want those people. Like, I just want the people that actually like me around. So just be obnoxious.
No, I really love that. And I don't think that was a cheesy answer at all. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you say authentic, whatever. But like how you expanded on just the reason behind being authentic, like, yeah, be yourself. Okay, that's great. But the reasoning of like, you don't want to attract people that aren't for you. And because then, like you said, you'd have to then try to appease to everybody. And that's just literally never going to happen.
You're basically playing the middle on Big Brother your whole life. You're playing the middle on Big Brother your whole life. If you
that's
don't just
never been my favorite player. Yeah.
Pick a side. Just be authentically yourself. Be weird over here. It's okay. You can, because there will be you'll have some, even if it's one alliance member, there'll be one. Right. And there's a whole section of America cheering you on. You don't even know about it, but they love you because you're being authentically yourself. And the other thing about authenticity, there are a lot of people that don't like me, but I think they respect me.
Oh, for sure. They would have
they're
to.
Like, I can't stand her, but she's always just doing whatever the fuck she wants. And so
it's like, hell yeah, go Elena. No, I mean,
yeah, brother. Oh yeah, authenticity.
They have no choice but to respect you. I mean, you are.
They have to.
Yeah, and you're the mayor.
I am the mayor of Fort Worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right.
Game?
Well, are we ready for this game? Yeah. Okay. So this is new. So hopefully this works out. It's called Chic or Weak. So basically, I'm just gonna kind of like rapid fire some things, and then you're gonna say, you think it's chic. You can expand on it too if you wish. But like chic, if you're like, ooh, yeah, in. I mean, obviously the name says for itself. Or weak, it's just like, eh. It's like, eh, not that worth it. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. First one, reality TV showmances.
Weak.
Okay.
I think they're weak.
Yeah. It's very far viewing between.
1% of the time they're chic.
Yeah, okay? Exactly. Okay.
All right. Or miss.
Rodeo outfit thirst traps.
Oh, so chic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're the queen of it.
Post those. Use your pretty privilege as much as you can, as often as you can.
Yep.
Get attention in whatever way necessary. Sometimes that's why I post thirst traps and crash out online.
Yeah.
Still, because nothing drives the crowd more like boobies and a big dramatic display of anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime I see your little bubble circle up on my story, I'm like, Elena, what's she up to?
She's doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If it refreshes and somehow you like skip down a little, I'm like, nope, let me go find that.
Let me go back.
Let me go back. All right. Well, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I'll still say it. So posting a Notes app apology on social media after getting canceled or maybe being like in a scandal.
I think it's weak because no one should be posting anything Notes app. Do better. I want it elevated. Put it on Canva.
Yeah.
I want a video apology. A Notes app screenshot, always weak. Hate them.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Being a villain on reality TV and leaning into it.
Chic.
Yeah. Okay. And then Chili's crispy chicken tenders.
Weak as fuck. That's the weakest shit I've ever seen or heard.
I completely agree because I know you're a huge Chili's well, I know you've had some beef with Chili's. So we don't have to get into it.
Yeah, I'm a hater.
But I know
used
you're
to be a lover. Now I'm a hater.
Yeah. Well, and now I am too because I was an original Chicken Crispers girly myself, and I know you are. And it's really depressing, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I don't know.
We ate our last OG Chicken Crispers one day and we didn't even know
it.
That's what gets me. And then Chili's hurt my feelings, so it just really adds salt to the wound. You know,
they took out the original Chicken Crispers and they took
fired
out.
Me.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that was a bad day of life for me, and the terrible work week for Brinker International. If I have a say in it at all,
whoever was in that decision room, hopefully they're gone. Like,
you know what I will say, and just a final little note about how iconic I am. Something that I'll literally never get over in my whole life is that Brinker International, Chili's, Bar and Grill Corporation had sit-down meetings about me. They got the C-suite together in a boardroom, and they're like, what are we going to do about Elena? And that I love. That is amazing. They had more than one meeting about me. I even heard through the grapevine, I got brought up like a year later. And they're like, well, don't forget about Elena.
Stop.
We need to be careful. And I'm like, yeah, be careful.
Oh my gosh. That is
like nothing I love more than when people have to send out a calendar invite to talk about me.
Oh, that's
nothing
amazing.
I love more.
That is amazing. Whether it's a good or a bad meeting, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like I came across your desk with an
Y'all
invite.
Cleared your calendar
to
discuss me collectively together. The C-suite of a giant international food chain restaurant.
Oh my God.
They had to have sit downs about me. That's iconic. That's amazing.
That really is. That really is. I love that about you.
I'll tell that story to anyone. Thank you. And I'm proud of me too.
That's your fun fact that you do in a little crowded room when everybody has to give one.
Yeah, they're like, what's your fun fact? I'm like, Chili sued me. It never ends there. Like it's the beginning of the story every time.
Oh
no
my
one's
gosh.
satisfied with just that. But it's fun and so fun.
I love that so much.
And if you want to catch up on why Chili's sued me, I have a podcast. It's on pause. But it's called the MiscELENAeous Podcast. And if you're bored, you can binge it. There's so many. I couldn't even.
There's
so many
great episodes.
Hundreds.
Yeah. No, I love your podcast. There's so many. Everybody needs to go back and just listen to all of them. I mean, there's so many podcast shows out there now, but one you definitely need to check up on is MiscELENAeous Podcast. It's great. I literally audibly laugh. Like there's very few podcasts that I actually audibly laugh.
That's
Yours
always
is definitely
the goal.
one of them.
Thank you. That's all I'm looking for is an audible laugh.
Yeah, and you get it every time from me. But is there anything else that you want to plug? I know we're wrapping up, so I just want to be sure there's anything.
Follow me on Instagram, guys.
Yeah,
I crash out. I share inspiring things. I'm a multi-dimensional human on the internet, and happy for you to follow along. And please shop my links. Support me if you can. If you have any shopping to do, shop through me. And I'm at Elena Davies on the internet.
If there's anything you need a link for, I'm sure she'll be able to just like get it all up
link
for
it right
you.
Up for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy.
Well, it's been so much fun talking with you, Elena.
Really has.
This literally has been a dream. No, thank you. I'm so excited. And yeah, I mean, it's just been so much fun. It feels like to me, we've been besties for a long time. Yeah. So it's just been, now we're just finally being able to catch up. So it's just been super great.
We have so much to catch up on.
Yeah, exactly. So I just been yapping, but
I
everybody,
well, thank you for having me on. I had so much fun too.
Yep. Thank you so much. And everybody go follow Elena Davies. You won't regret it. I promise. Thank you. Bye.